Yeah, and speaking of that, do you think that this government efficiency department, or however you call it, that's set
Yeah.
up by Donald Trump and now led by Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy, do you think it would do much? I mean, what's your impression about that that part?
I get it. I get it explained. I get it said here out my personal views about this, and I should say that I don't know Elon Musk, and I don't
Mhm.
know Vivek Ramaswamy, but I have been on programs with them, so I've have some contact with. I have quite a high opinion of them in some respects, but my own view is that this thing, what it really is there to do, is to purge Donald Trump's enemies in Washington. This is what this is all about. You carry out a root and branch liquidation of everybody who's been horrible to Donald Trump in the past. You pick off all sorts of other people who've been problematic for Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy and people like that, and you call it an efficiency drive. I think that is what this is all about.
And by the way, the Wall Street Journal, I just read that saying that if now they are recruiting people, this
Yeah,
department or whatever you call it,
yeah,
uh, and the way to apply jobs with them is you first of all you need to have an X account, and
mm,
then you actually do need to, in order for you to submit your resume to the account of this Department of Government Efficiency, they have their own account on X. You actually need to do the paid subscriber for that because
mm,
otherwise you can't communicate. You can't really send your resume to them. So before you do anything, in order just to apply a job, you actually need to at least pay $8 to become this account on X, the Department of Efficiency, their I guess a VIP subscriber or something. I find
mm.
that's just to me that's bad taste. Why are you doing that? Because that money goes to X. It doesn't goes to this
Oh
department.
yeah,
So
absolutely. As a
why? I
as
don't.
if you think that this has all been done for idealistic purposes, that there is really some grand objective here to cut the American government down to size, I'm afraid people are going to be disappointed. As I said, this looks like uh, doing two things: to make Elon Musk even richer, to strengthen Twitter even further, Twitter X even further, and at the same time, as I said, to purge Washington of as many of Donald Trump's enemies and Elon Musk's enemies and Vivek Ramaswamy's enemies. Not that I think Vivek has many enemies in Washington, but people of that kind, to purge the enemies of the MAGA movement as efficiently and as straightforwardly as possible. And I think this is all that this is about, actually. I think I mean, uh, I am sure if we had Elon Musk here and it was a completely confidential discussion, he would deny that. I mean, people have a great ability to believe their own words, but ultimately, this is what this is going to try to do. Um, I speak now as somebody who's worked in governments, and I've seen how these efficiency drives actually work and what they are really intended to do. And I've no reason to doubt that this is exactly
Yeah.
what I have said it is.
Yeah. You see, I see it as some kind of because first of all, it's outside government. It's not really
Yeah,
within the government, even though it's called department of something, but it's not.
no,
Um,
no,
I myself was a consultant before, and I feel like
yeah,
this department is supposedly giving suggestions and ideas to,
mm,
I guess, advice to Donald Trump. It
yeah,
does give Donald Trump some flexibility for doing certain things.
yeah,
He could blame on them, now I have to cut this and cut
yeah,
that, they are the one who recommended me. I do
mm,
think that's probably part of the purpose as well, from Donald Trump's perspective.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely, it gives him wonderful cover as well.
Yeah.
If you think he's got all of the people, he's putting all the people that he can. Of course, we'll
Mhm.
see how successful he is. He's still got the Senate to think about, but he's putting all the people that he can in very important positions. He's got Tulsi Gabbard in charge of the intelligence community, and Radcliffe in charge of the CIA. Remember how much trouble he had with the intelligence
Yeah.
community before? He's trying to put Gats in at
Attorney General.
injustice. He's He's putting his own lawyers, giving them his own personal lawyers jobs within the Justice Department. He's doing all of these things. He's putting Hexas in charge at the Department of Defense. These are not administrators. I mean, even Tulsi Gabbard, who I have high regard for, by the way, is no administrator. She's got no background in intelligence. Their function, as far as Trump is concerned, is to remove people, to carry out his desire to fire the various people who previously, in his previous administration, made his life impossible. Now, one shouldn't be overly critical, because what happened in the first administration was terrible. It was the bureaucracy conspiring against the president. It is a complete inversion of the constitutional principle upon which the American government is created, that they serve the president. They don't try and control him. So you can argue, in fact, I would argue, that to some extent what Trump is trying to do is to bring the bureaucracy back under political control. But of course, in immediate terms, what that means, since he is the president, is it means bringing it under his personal control. Yeah. So, I mean, there's always those two things to remember.
Yeah. Something lighter. Now, I sent you the link to Li Ziqi's channel, which I don't know if you get the chance to see it. So that is a big discussion in China right now, because Li Ziqi is talking about social media. She is a big influencer, both inside and outside China. On YouTube, I think she has 20 million subscribers. But that happened, but only, the main thing she does is cooking and crafting, those sort of thing. And it's very Chinese. So it's a Chinese cultural thing. So it has nothing to do with politics or anything. It's not even much a discussion of anything. It just, you see her doing things, making beautiful things, arrangement, and she also doing a lot of growing food herself and stuff like that. So what's so special about this is that she did that. Her videos are very popular both inside and outside China. But then 3 years ago, she stopped making these videos. And then until recently, maybe a week ago, she started posting again. What happened was, during those 3 years, that she had a big fight with her management company, the company that saw her potential when she started making those videos. And then there's a company saw the potential, but then they almost cheated her to get into a deal that they got majority, 51% of the control, and she got 49%. And subsequently, they had a lot of disagreement of different kind of her merchandise and stuff like that. So eventually she got really upset about the whole thing, and she stopped making it. She just wanted to sort these things out. So finally they sort things out, it seems like, and then now she's back online and she's posting again. The significant about this case is because it's a landmark case for social media, self-media people to get into these kind of a big argument with this management company. Now, social media personalities, and we are all in there ourselves, right? Yeah. And so lots of people commenting on is that in the future, maybe these kind of cases will be more and more common, because social media will gradually probably take over the legacy media, right? And so this kind of a dispute probably will be more common. That's why people look at this case very closely. So what is your view on that in terms of...
I completely agree. I mean, I think this is actually, I've just come to a production agreement as well with, so just to say, and I've had some of the same concerns that, this program, this person has experienced. So I absolutely think that's right. And once upon a time, long ago, back in the 80s, I used to work in, believe it or not, the music industry. The rock music industry. This is despite the fact that I don't actually have much interest in rock music, but I did. And, I was involved in all kinds of cases at that time, including an important case involving Bob Marley, who just died. but had been tricked in 1969 to sign away 10 years of his recordings for £50,000, which even in 1969 was not a huge amount of money. And of course, from 69 to 79 was when he produced most of his greatest hits. And there was a huge battle about that, which I'm not going to discuss now. But anyway, so I am aware of this. And the fact that we are getting into this situation is a sign that social media is becoming a business. It's becoming
Yeah.
a place where, so whereas before it was, content, it was creators, people like us, YouTube, with the emphasis being on the you, I'm afraid we're starting to see corporations and all the things that come with that move in, which is a sign of an industry that is maturing. And I'm afraid that is the reality. And I'm afraid it follows as night follows day. And it is indeed proof that legacy media, as we have known, it is dying.
Yeah. And there is always this conflict, right? That the production company, the management company, they always want to make money, right? There is always that's their highest priority. Whereas the content creators always want creativities, they want the freedom to create stuff. And it seems like that sooner or later there will be some kind of a conflict there. It's very often that kind of things happens, right?
Absolutely. The tension is always going to be there between the corporate interest and the creative interest, and I'm afraid that has existed ever since capitalism began. It is intrinsic. It is intrinsic to the system. So we're going to see it. Obviously we're going to see it, and there will be that tension. And many people who go into social media, or who have been in social media and who find themselves captured by this, are going to feel very angry and very betrayed and very exploited, and with good cause, by the way.
Yeah. Well, it's exciting to see that. We'll see, of course, the more thing will happen, in this area. So, okay.
Yes.
All right. All right. That's all I have for now. So thank you so much. And have a good trip to Hungary.
Speak soon. Right.
Bye.